This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Well, hello to you. It is the After Party live on a usually Travel Tuesday, and we're slurming it together with Trivia Thursday because of the Thanksgiving holiday. And I've got a lot of recommendations for travel trivia. So we're going to pull some geography out of the hat and see how you guys do on that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your patience, especially with all the tech problems on the Mark Thompson Show. A programming note, the Nikki Medoro Show will happen tonight at 5 p.m., tonight at 5 p.m., and that is because of the Thanksgiving holiday. So cocktails, mocktails, politics. I do hope you'll join us. It is a great discussion. Nikki and I will gather 5 Pacific here on YouTube to do the show tonight. All right, let's jump right in because we've got a lot to cover today. And because I needed to make a thumbnail, I will do this one story before we head to France. I will say that I see that there's some new people here, and this show is kind of a cool down from the Mark Thompson Show. It needed to be different because we have 2 other political shows in our family of shows already. So this one is a little more wacky news, science news, health news, and interesting features that I hope will entertain you as we gather in the chat and make connections that way. So just in case you're wondering what the show is all about and what this girl is doing, that's what's happening over here. All right. First thing I wanted to talk to you about is this cutest little horse. Would you check out this guy? He is now the world's tiniest horse, the Guinness World Record. This horse measures 21.1 inches tall. Yeah, look at his tiny little legs going on there. This is a therapy horse, and it lives in Germany. It is now the shortest living horse, according to Guinness World Records. Again, 21.1 inches tall. His name is Pumuckl. Pumuckl. Pumuckl was adopted in 2020 when he was 5 months old and only 18 inches tall. And the caretaker owner of Pumuckl said she drove over, took a look at him, and was completely shocked. She had never seen such a small horse before. Little tiny horse. Pumuckl's height has now been verified by the Guinness World Records people as 21.1 inches. That's from to the withers, making him the shortest living male horse in the world. He is about 1.5 inches shorter than the previous record holder. He is a trained therapy horse and makes regular visits to nursing homes, so manageable size for that type of work, right? Heads to hospices and schools, visits people with disabilities, so Pumuckl is a big heart in that tiny little body. The owner says he has a very lovable character. He's incredibly good with children, loves being scratched and cuddled, and Pumuckl adores being the center of attention. And center of attention he is. What a cutie. Love that horse. Oh, I know there's one other story that I wanted to show you before we launch into our travels for today. And this is a painting that went up for auction, and apparently it's rarely seen. This is a previously unseen Renoir of the artist's son, and it sold for more than $2 million at auction. This painting is very, very sweet, I have to say. I have a picture of it to show you. So this is rarely seen. It's usually in the hands of private collectors, and here it is. How cute is that? What a sweet painting. The let me see, the painting, I should say. Hold on. I'm sorry. There it is a previously unknown work by the French Impressionist painter Renoir of his toddler son Jean. It sold for $2.08 million at a Paris auction on Tuesday. The oil painting is called L'Enfant et ses jouets. It's long. The Child and His Toys is what it's called. Had never been exhibited or sold before. So just to even see the picture of it is rare. Versions have been displayed in museums in Washington, D.C. and Paris. It belonged to the child's godmother, who was a friend and student of Renoir's, who passed the painting on to her heirs. It's believed to have been painted sometime between 1890 and 1895, and it is Renoir's second son, who went on to become an Oscar-winning filmmaker, who is shown in the picture sitting with his nanny. Jean Renoir, or Jean Renoir, is the son. He was born in 1894, got a Lifetime Achievement Academy Award in 1975, a couple years before he died. Among his works, this little baby would go on to make Le Grand Illusion, which follows two French prisoners trying to escape from German captivity during World War II. They thought this would sell for $1.5 million. No, it went for $2.08 million. All right, are you guys ready to travel? Let's do it. It is time for Travel Tuesday. And away we go. We are headed to Marseille, France. And there's a lot to see here. I had to actually pick and choose which pictures I wanted to show you and which things I wanted to show you, because I found this article that it's the 48 best things to do or 47 best things to do in Marseille, France. And I thought, all right, we can't maybe see all 47, but we could see the highlights. So if I go through these a little more quickly, you will understand why, because time is limited. And I thought maybe we should see as much of it as we can. All right. So here's what we got. The first place we are going to stop is going to be the Notre Dame de la Garde Church. It is one of the most famous landmarks in this area. And I have a picture for you. Beautiful. I mean, it just really gives you the flavor of this whole area. This is a church on top of a hill overlooking the city and the sea. It's you can take a bus, but you have to climb to the top of the hill to get there. So, maybe not. If you take a taxi or a tour bus, they'll take you right up to the top. It's free to visit. Inside of this church is a mosaic interior and beautiful views of the city. It's incredible and impressive, and that is the Notre Dame de la Garde. How about taking a boat ride? And I'm sorry if I murder the French language here. Taking a boat ride to Les Calanques. So pretty. You have to check out this picture. Just wow. I'll take a boat ride there. Absolutely. That water is so clear and such a pretty color of blue. This is a stretch of coast between Marseille and Cassis. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's a must for anyone visiting the city, especially in the summer. Beautiful views and beaches are some of the highlights while you visit the Parc National des Calanques. That's super pretty. What a great place to swim and hang out. The next one is wandering around the Vieux-Port. Also, look at how clear this water is. Just amazing. Yeah, sure. I'll wander around the Vieux-Port. Absolutely. It's also called the Old Harbor in English. Probably the most important part of Marseille, where all the travelers go to take pictures, eat fresh fish, watch the boats, or ride the Ferris wheel, because there's a Ferris wheel here on this stretch of coast as well. It's part of the city's old town, a great location then from which to head to all the other main attractions. And sunsets during the summer are awe-inspiring. So got to stick around till the early evening, catch the sunset, take some photos, enjoy the beach and the seafood there if you're so inclined. And what a beautiful stretch of coastline. That is Vieux-Port, or Old Harbor, in Marseille, France. All right. Next, we're heading to the Cathédrale de la Major. It has these beautiful domed towers and is just so pretty. Look at that. I have another picture, another shot of it as well. this beautiful old cathedral. It is one of the city's most important buildings, overlooking the sea. It's perfect for views and photographs, imposing structure with several domed towers you can see here, the highest reaching about 52 feet. They used green and white limestone for this building. It's kind of reminiscent of the Duomo in Florence, but the interior is a totally different style. This cathedral is free to visit. And again, it is the Cathédrale de la Major, or Mejor, I don't know how you say it in French, with the beautiful domed towers. Again, here's another picture of that and the domed towers you see there. Since we're so close to Old Town, look at that. I'm going to wander together down these old cobblestone streets. This is Old Town, the one of the most picturesque neighborhoods that you'll find anywhere in France, easily accessible from the viewport as it's situated on a nearby hillside. This city was first inhabited in 600 BC when the Greeks settled there. So really one of the oldest parts of the city of Marseille. They say the colorful neighborhood is known for being the most multicultural part of the city. So it's really fun to spend an evening or go for a walk here, take in the little shops and the interesting doorways. By the way, the recommendations come from the website theculturetrip.com. How about Marseille's oldest museum? It is the Palais Longchamp. And here it is. That is grand, is it not? This is the site of the city's Musée des Beaux-Arts. It is the oldest museum in Marseille, home to collections from Italian and Provençal artists, 17th century to present day. And also outside is a beautiful park that people like to come enjoy the good weather. One of the few green areas in the city center as well. How about we go see a castle? The 16th century castle, Chateau d'If. Here it is. You can see it right there in the middle. Got to take a little boat out there to get to it. If you read The Count of Monte Cristo, you'll find the name of this island familiar. Some guides suggest the events actually happened, but the fictional account was never the fictional count, I should say, was never imprisoned here, but it makes Chateau d'If no less fascinating. The visitors are able to learn all about this 16th century castle's history as a prison for real-life political enemies of the state. Boy, back then, Comey would be right in there, wouldn't he? Sorry, no politics on this show. There are boats that leave daily from Viewport, so you can go check it out. And then in the evening, shall we gather and have some pastis? They have it in Marseille. We'll take a little sippy of this. This is one of the things that Marseille is known for. Pastis. It's an anise flavored aperitif, also known as a pastage by Marseille's residents. And there are a lot of spots across the city to sample it. You can dilute it, make it stronger or weaker. There's a place called Pastis and Olives where you can choose from 16 different variations, or you can go on a foodie tour and discover all the pastis that Marseille has to offer. How about we go eat next? The local specialty is bouillabaisse. It's a local fish soup that apparently you can't go to Marseille unless you're going to have some bouillabaisse, which you got to do. So they say fishermen used to make the soup with the rockfish that they caught and they couldn't sell at market. And they added Provençal herbs and simmered it over a period of a few hours. And so now it becomes a cultural delicacy. You have to order it in advance, sometimes even 48 hours in advance at the best restaurants. And it's not cheap now. Used to be cheap, not anymore. Sometimes at least 40 euro per diner. And Most restaurants only take orders for more than 2 people, so you have to have a bigger group. Luckily, we do, right, together? So, there you go. It's, they say, an iconic delicacy of Marseille, the bouillabaisse. Check this place out. This is the, yeah, I might have skipped over this. Oh, this is the La Cannebière. It's close to Viewport and the old city center. It's another one of the most important areas in Marseille. It's the city's biggest avenue, and it represents the wealth that this city once had. You'll see huge ornate buildings here and elegant hotels that once stood on each side of the street, and they've now been converted into restaurants and shops or offices, but they're still very grand buildings. The avenue stretches almost 1 kilometer from the viewport and heads to other neighborhoods. So it's a cool place to walk along and see all these really interesting old buildings. Next on the list, we have the Corniche Kennedy, named interestingly after the famous US President, JFK. The Corniche, as the locals call it, is a seaside avenue that skirts the coastline of Marseille to the south. One side, rocky beaches where you can lounge and face the sea. On the other side, parks and grand hotels and restaurants and shops. It's a great place to bike and head to the wider towned beaches beyond. One of the coolest streets to hang out in Marseille, Cours Julienne. I could see us hanging out here, wandering through the streets, picking out a restaurant. Cours Julienne used to be run down, but now it's full of bars and ice cream shops, a movie theater, a club. What kind of club? Some shops. They're regenerating some of these inner city centers and turning them into cute little places like this. This is Park Borelli. Take a look at this beautiful place. You can wander around and look at the grand old buildings here. This is in a city where you get 300 sunny days a year, a great place to spend the day. You can head to the lake, hire a boat. There's an ice cream kiosk, or you can just hang out on the grass. They say it's a great Sunday afternoon picnic spot as well. Another park called Parc Valmer, right along the seafront, is also really relaxing and beautiful. It is very large, I will say. Lots of nooks and crannies, a playground and tennis courts, and there's a grand old villa to visit, and the views are breathtaking. At Fort Saint Jean, they had a facelift, and this building, this old fort, now looks really incredible. Take a look at Fort Saint Jean. It's linked to the new museum via a walkway, so a museum. And it's a great place for kids to run around and check out the different tunnels in and out of the old rooms, learn about the history there. Really interesting. Next on the list is the Friches Belle de Mai, which actually was an old tobacco factory that was tucked alongside of some railway tracks near the famous St. Charles railway station. This is now a gigantic arts and community building where there are bars and playgrounds and offices, and there's something different going on here every weekend. Music festivals, art workshops, skateboarding, just people having coffee, and a little arty bookstore located here. It's a great way to get a feel for this city, the Friches Belle de Mai. And how about we go take a look at the Noailles Market? I know I'm saying it wrong. It's also called the Capuchins Market. And what you see here is vibrant colors and wonderful smells and market stalls packed with fruits and spices and North African delicacies. Again, that it's an architectural landmark, but it's the Capuchins Market, also called the Noailles Market. Here's another great picnic spot. It's right outside the Hotel Dieu. That's beautiful, although it feels like I'm gated and being kept out. But this used to be the city's hospital, this building, for more than 800 years. Think of all the people that died there. Now it's a hotel. The hotel is run by the Intercontinental Hotel Group. The steps in front of it lead to the old port, and it's a great place to picnic or chill out if you're taking a sightseeing break. Something else amazing happens in Marseille. You've heard of the golden hour? They have the blue hour. Wonderful time to take photographs. And many people head to the south of France to paint because of the luminous quality of the light. It's caused by the mixture of dry climate, high temperatures, and mistral wind. For about an hour, most days at dawn and dusk, the sky takes on this ethereal blue quality, which is so beautiful, great to photograph, great to paint. It's called the blue hour. Look at that. You can go check out Pharaoh's Palace. It was built at the end of the 19th century as a gift from Napoleon III to his wife, at that time, the Empress Eugenie. And here is what it looks like. I have it. Looks like they got some modern art going on outside now. But the fall of Napoleon's empire led this palace to become a hospital. Now it's 6 hectares of gardens that are open to the public, and it's an ideal place to get views of the city's landmarks as well. So pretty nice. How about Point Rouge? Let's go check it out. Yes, please. I'll take Point Rouge. Not quite the blue hour, but still beautiful. It's all the way east along the coastal road from Marseille's old port, a little stretch of sand called Point Rouge. It's a cute kind of local beach. Teenagers hang out with buddies, kids play on the sand, parents sip wine at the restaurant tables above. Point Rouge. They have something in France called the Crazy Zoo. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but instead of real animals, there are statues of animals that are caged, locked up in this area. 25 years ago, it used to be a real zoo right next to the Palais Longchamp. But recently, it was brought back as a so-called crazy zoo with these animal statues inside of the old cages. You'll find families with small kids taking rides on real horses along the grounds, couples sleeping in the self-hung hammocks here, and people walking around looking at the statues of the animals. Can't go to Marseille without taking a look at this incredible lighthouse. So beautiful. It is the Fer de Sainte Marie, and it was built in 1855. It is the northernmost point at Marseille's harbor. It's a cylindrical turret, 60 feet high, encased from top to bottom in brilliant white local limestone. The lighthouse was electrified in 1922. Now it's inactive, but it's a great place to take pictures. The dazzling white of the limestone contrasts against the azure blue of the cloudless sky and the Mediterranean Sea, and it's just a beautiful sight. We're almost at the end of our little vacation, but how about this building? This old church, and it is called Saint Ferriol Les Augustins. It's a Roman Catholic church situated at the eastern end of the old port of Marseille. The history of this church goes back to the 12th century when the site was owned by the Knights Templar. I wonder what kind of signs and signals are inside that place. The building has been added to and changed ever since, with the addition of the Italian-style bell tower and the neo-Baroque facade. It's kind of a mishmash of styles and influences, but it's a beautiful addition to going to check it out. Also, let's check out St. Victor's Abbey since we're, taking a look at churches. We might as well. Oh, that's the inside of that church. Beautiful. Here's St. Victor's Abbey. This is a Roman Catholic church founded in the 5th century by Christian monk and theologian Jean Cassien. It's estimated to be one of the oldest places of worship in France. It has interesting archaeological and architectural elements, but the highlight is probably the view from the towers onto the port below. How about the oldest residence in France, La Maison Diamantée, or the Diamond House? Let's take a look at that. It's big. Doesn't look like much though, right? La Maison Diamantée is a beautiful 16th century civilian palace with a facade featuring diamond facets. It is kind of a callback to the ancient city and patrician houses that were dedicated to the sea and trading. It served as the headquarters for the organizing association of Marseille's capital of culture. And its stairs and facade have been the subject of a classification as historical monuments. So kind of a must-see, the La Maison Diamantée. Here's another home originally intended to house the poor of the city, La Vieille Charité. Not really a home. Kind of a home. Was supposed to be a home. It was built between 1671 and 1749, originally intended to house the poor. Eventually, it served as a prison for the growing number of homeless people and beggars of Marseille in the mid-18th century. Now it hosts a cultural center and research units, museums, and art galleries. The ground floor, though, hosts a touring exhibition. It's called Etre Femme la Époque Grecée. It's supposed to be really cool to go see. So this is La Vieille Charité. How about next we head to just down the road from Marseille. This is Avignon and Pont du Gard on the River Rhone, home to Catholic popes in the 14th century, during which time the papacy built the Pope's Palace. It is the largest Gothic medieval palace in the world. Avignon is also well known for its bridge you can see here, which lent its name to a marriage song called Sur le Pont d'Avignon. Fell into disrepair, was deemed too expensive to rebuild. Not far away is the famous Pont du Gard, which is a Roman aqueduct with 3 tiers built in the 1st century, both big tourist attractions. So gotta go see that. And then how about the picturesque Senonque Abbey? Oh, that's really beautiful. This was built in the 12th century by monks who still live there now. Not the same monks, different monks. They're under a vow of silence, but they open their abbey every day to day trippers and people who want to stay on a silent retreat and harvest honey and lavender. Their lavender fields are some of the best in the region. You have to have a car to get here, though. It's about 100 kilometers away from Marseille. It takes about an hour and a half to drive here. You can't say anything when you're there. Shh, be very quiet. That's at the Senonque Abbey. This is beautiful. The Fontaine de Vaucluse. If you want to walk around a picturesque provincial town, maybe do a little kayaking, that is a beautiful choice. And also nearby is Saint-Tropez. I mean, can we go here without going to Saint-Tropez? Just a day trip from Marseille. Chic little village, cobbled streets, old fishing district. They have La Ponche, where you can try some local cake. Tarte Tropézienne. Watch the mega yachts from a bar at the port. Beautiful. Also wanted to take you to Aries, and this is our last stop on the trip. This is I skipped a bunch of stuff, so yeah. I have to find it. Aries is the name of this place. There it is. It is most well known for being home to Van Gogh. And you can still see the famous settings and his work in the Van Gogh Foundation. It has a Roman amphitheater where you can see concerts, and also they do bullfighting there as well. It's about 50 minutes from Marseille by train, about an hour by car, and that is Aries. So there you go. Travel Tuesday. We have taken our trip to France. Do you feel, I mean, other than my butchering of the language, do you feel maybe a little more cultured? Do you feel a little, I don't know, a little fancy pants? You feel ready for trivia? I know we usually do it on Thursday, but we're bringing it here now. It is Trivia Tuesday, after party style. I'm going to the chat, see if you guys are ready. Oui, oui, says Rev P. And Yvonne. Excellent. Yeah, no bullfighting, says Yvonne. Agreed. Ready for trivia, says Nullifidian. All right, let's do it. France never disappoints, says Eileen. Hopefully it's like a little, I know it's kind of silly to go on these virtual trips, but it really is like a little mental checkout, right? Where you kind of get to learn about a place, see some cool things, think, oh, I'd really like to see that someday. Or maybe I'm interested, I didn't know that was a place in the world. And when you're thinking about that, you're not thinking about all the things that stress you out. Okay. Mindy says, lovely trip. Ooh la la. Love that. Okay. Here we go to trivia. Rock and roll. First question I have for you today is, how many floors does the Eiffel Tower have? How many floors does the Eiffel Tower have? Nullifidian loves the virtual trips. Okay, I'm glad. Thank you. How many floors does the Eiffel Tower have? Gordon says 100. Sandy says 11,780. Nullifidian 157. It's much less. 200, says Liz. 11, says Mama. Doug says 3, and Doug is correct. The Eiffel Tower has 3 floors, which is really interesting because it feels like when you're taking the elevator up that you stop way more times. 3 floors is the answer, and Doug gets it right. Well done, Doug. Thank you. Next question. What is the currency of Poland? What is the currency of Poland? Anybody know the currency of Poland? I know, only 3. It's a surprise, right? It is not dinar. You would think it's the euro, pero no. It is the zloty. Z-L-O-T-Y is what I am told. The zloty is the currency of Poland. I'll give it to Donna. That's almost it. The zloty. Yeah. Next question. Niue, N-I-U-E, is a self-governing coral island in free association with what larger country? Niue is a self-governing coral island in free association with what larger country? It's not Spain, not the Netherlands. It is New Zealand. Jim Shields with the answer. Niue is part of New Zealand. What southern United state is actually the flattest? What southern United state is actually the flattest? Take a sip of my Coachella vanilla tea while I wait for your answers. What southern United state is the flattest? Yep, Jim to the rescue again. That would be Florida. Florida is the flattest state. Tammy also has Florida. Vanessa has Florida. Well done. Florida, flat Florida. That's what it is. Next question. What Asian country changed its capital in 1868 to its current capital city? Interestingly, both pre and post 1868 capitals are anagrams of one another. Looking for the country, you can bonus if you give the cities as well. What Asian country changed its capital in 1868 to its current capital city? Both pre and post 1868 capitals are anagrams of one another. So at least the country and possibly looks like you guys got it. This is Japan is correct. Japan is right. Jim has Japan. Rev has Japan. Nolafidian has Japan. Rev says, yeah, Kyoto and Tokyo. That's correct. Yeah, anagrams of each other, capital cities. Rev has it. Jim has it. Well done. Yeah. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of answers pop up today for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, next question. And we've been here virtually before. Mallorca and Menorca are two largest of Spain's Balearic Islands. The third biggest is what island known for its nightlife? Mallorca and Menorca are two of the largest Balearic of Spain's islands. The third biggest is what island known for its nightlife? Oh, Sandy has it. Ibiza. Sandy's partied on Ibiza before. She's been there, done that. Ibiza is correct. Teacher Lori has it. And Liz has it. And Gordon has it. Nice. Okay, next question. I just have a couple more geography questions and then we'll switch to some music. The city in Hot Springs in New Mexico. So it was Hot Springs, New Mexico, was renamed in 1950 after a radio show. What is it currently known as? Used to be Hot Springs, New Mexico, but it was renamed after a radio show in 1950. What's the current name? In New Mexico. WKRP. No. Donna has it. Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, named after a radio show. Excellent job. Truth or Consequences. Eileen has it as well. Truth or Consequences. Teacher Lori has it. Yeah, that is the name of the town. And the last geography question. What is the largest volcano on Earth? What is the largest volcano on Earth? This one surprised me. Ooh, you've been through Truth or Consequences on a motorcycle. Teacher Lori is badass. Absolutely. Fuji, says Jim. Krakatona, says Gordon. We like the answer. Yvonne has the answer. She spells it down here, Mauna Loa, and that is correct. The largest volcano on Earth is Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Crazy. Mauna Loa is right. Good job, Yvonne. Well done. Popocatépetl. Most underwater. Okay. Oh, most of it's underwater? Is that why it's so surprising? Yeah. Okay, next question. What 1950s singer had the hit song Beyond the Sea? 1950s singer with the hit song Beyond the Sea. Not Dean Martin, nope. But it was Bobby Darin. Liz has it. Eileen has it. Donna has it. Almost Phineas. I'll take it. Vanessa has it. Phineas back with the correct spelling. Darren, yes, says Teacher Lori. Doug has it. An old person. Gordon has it. I'll take it. I'll accept it. Wonderful. Next question. How many Billboard #1 hits did Elvis have? How many Billboard #1 hits did Elvis have? I watch those beach movies. 6 says Gordon, 30 says Jim, 87, 1, 50, 2, 28, 12 o'clock rock, 25. The answer, 36. The answer I do not see listed is 18. Elvis had 18 Billboard #1 hits. Look at that. Okay, a little animal trivia. Just a little bit. What do you call a group of porcupines? What do you call a group of porcupines? Only 18? Says Liz. Yeah. Hard to get that #1. What do you call a group of porcupines? A pane, a pikes, a pincushion. I'm going to give it to Nullifidian because the answer is a prickle. You call a group of porcupines a prickle of porcupines. I thought that was so cute. I had to put it in. Good job, by the way, Nullifidian. How many legs does a lobster have? Teacher Lori knew it. Prickle of porcupines. Nice. Plethora would have been good, but it's a prickle. How many legs does you learn? It's a crazy thing, and then that happens. But you're used to being right, so even the good guesses. How many legs does a lobster have? That's what I asked, right? Yeah. And the answer is 10. Nullifidian says 10. Nullifidian is correct, sir. A lot of people said 6 or 8. The answer is 10. 10 legs. Good job, Nullifidian. Where are a cricket's ears located? Where are a cricket's ears located? Where are a cricket's ears located? Yeah, the answer is on their legs. A cricket's ears are located on their legs. Eileen has it, Gordon has it, Donna has it, Doug has it in Disneyland. Jiminy, Sandy has it. Would have been a good answer, my friend. I like your thinking. Yeah. On the legs. The cricket's ears are located on the legs. Here's a different question. What inspired the name for the iPod? Who knows what inspired the name for the iPod? What inspired the name for the iPod? It's a fictional thing. I'll say that. Give you a little hint. Fictional thing from a movie. Stinging legs too. Yeah. Donna says 2001. And what she means is 2001 A Space Odyssey. And in that movie, they had an Eva pod they called an E-pod. And that inspired the name for the for the iPod, the Eva pod from 2001 A Space Odyssey. So pretty good. The Eva pod. All right. And with that comes an end to our Trivia Tuesday, our weird little Trivia Tuesday. The pod people. Yeah. I hope you had some fun in Marseille and with trivia and our tiny little horsey. And I know I'll see you tonight at 5 p.m. on the Nikki Maduro show. So we're doing it today because we're not going to be around on Thursday. I do hope that you will be able to join 5 p.m. Pacific today, the Nikki Maduro show. You can find us here on YouTube. So in just a couple hours, I'll be seeing you and we'll be able to spend some more time together. Yay, I love this. But between now and then, make it the very best day, and I'll see you right back here on YouTube. Bye, everybody. Please click like, please click subscribe, and to everyone who has helped this show along in one way or another, huge thank you.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Huge thank you to Cindy, who throws in 5. Love your shows, especially this relaxing, no politics show. Thank you, right, Cindy? Cindy, thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see it earlier. Huge thank you to you. Jim, trivia and travel got a lot in today. Absolutely. So glad you had some fun as well. I don't know if the moderator thing is a priority for us right now. Just have to be honest.